Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating web of theories, mysteries, and fan speculation surrounding the latest developments in General Hospital. From Jason Morgan's wrongful blame to Drew Cain's potential involvement, fans have been buzzing with questions and creative ideas. Let's explore these theories in depth, adding new layers of intrigue and analysis to the unfolding drama. Could Spinelli unravel the truth behind Jason's blame? As fans continue to dissect the events surrounding Cyrus' death, one blaring question arises: why hasn't Damian Spinelli stepped in to uncover the truth? Known for his unparalleled hacking skills and ability to dig up dirt on anyone, Spinelli could be the key to proving Jason Morgan's innocence. Fans have pointed out that Cyrus was a political candidate with a high-profile lifestyle. Surely his home would have been equipped with security cameras or surveillance systems. If Spinelli were to investigate, he could potentially retrieve footage from that fateful night, exposing the real culprit. This raises another question: why hasn't this angle been explored on screen yet? Is it possible that someone is deliberately keeping Spinelli out of the loop? Or could there be deeper forces at play, preventing the truth from coming to light? Spinelli's involvement could also bring a much-needed dose of humor and heart to this dark storyline. His quirky personality and unwavering loyalty to Jason make him a fan favorite, and viewers are eager to see him take center stage once again. The suspension of disbelief in soap logic. One of the most debated aspects of this storyline is the suspension of disbelief required to accept certain plot points. For instance, fans have noted that Jason and Drew are identical twins, a fact that has been reiterated on the show multiple times. However, due to Drew's facial reconstruction surgeries after a life-threatening accident, the two no longer look alike. This detail has sparked confusion among viewers. Some argue that DNA evidence should still point to both brothers since their genetic makeup remains identical. Others counter that hair color differences, another result of their divergent life paths, could help forensic experts distinguish between them. While these debates are fascinating, they also highlight a common trope in soap operas: bending reality for the sake of drama. Fans have come to accept these inconsistencies as part of the genre's charm, but they can't help but wonder how such details might play into future twists. Drew Cain, a Navy SEAL with motive and means. One of the most compelling fan theories centers on Drew Cain as a potential suspect in Cyrus' murder. As Jason's twin brother and a former Navy SEAL, Drew possesses both the motive and the skills needed to carry out such a crime. Fans have pointed out that Drew's child's mother was murdered by Cyrus, a tragedy that could easily drive him to seek revenge. Moreover, Drew's military background gives him an edge when it comes to planning and executing covert operations. He knows how to eliminate targets without leaving a trace, making him a plausible suspect in this case. However, his lack of an alibi only adds fuel to the fire. If Drew were truly innocent, why would he lie about his whereabouts during the time of the crime? This theory gains even more traction when considering Drew's complex relationship with Jason. While they share a biological connection, their history is fraught with tension and unresolved issues. Could Drew be framing Jason as part of a larger vendetta? Or is he being manipulated by someone else behind the scenes? The Reddit buzz, fan theories take center stage. The General Hospital fan community has been abuzz with speculation about Cyrus' death and its aftermath. On platforms like Reddit, fans have shared detailed theories about what might really be going on. One popular idea suggests that Cyrus may not be dead at all. Perhaps he faked his own death as part of an elaborate scheme. Another theory points directly at Drew as the mastermind behind Jason's framing. As one fan noted, Jason's DNA was found at Cyrus' cabin, but isn't that also Drew's DNA since they are identical twins? This observation has sparked heated debates about how forensic evidence might play into the storyline. Fans have also expressed concerns about potential plot holes or inconsistencies in the writing. Some worry that the show's creators may have overlooked key details about Jason and Drew's twin status or forgotten past storylines altogether. Josslyn Jax, the unexpected heroine. Amid all this speculation, one fact remains clear: Josslyn Jacks played a pivotal role in bringing Cyrus down. In an act of self-defense, Joss shot Cyrus during a tense confrontation, a moment that showcased her bravery and quick thinking. However, this act has inadvertently placed Jason in the crosshairs of law enforcement. Joss' involvement adds another layer of complexity to the storyline. While she acted out of necessity, her actions have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. Could her decision to pull the trigger come back to haunt her? And how will her relationship with Jason evolve now that he's being blamed for a crime she committed? Jason Morgan, a target once again. Jason Morgan has long been one of Port Charles's most polarizing figures, a hero to some and a villain to others. His reputation as an enforcer for Sonny Corinthos makes him an easy scapegoat whenever trouble arises. In this case, however, fans are questioning why more characters aren't suspicious of his alleged involvement in Cyrus' death. Jason's history with Cyrus is well documented. Their rivalry has escalated over time, making Jason an obvious suspect in any crime involving Cyrus. But given his track record for loyalty and integrity, at least by mob standards, many believe he wouldn't resort to such tactics without good reason. This raises important questions about how evidence is being handled in Port Charles's justice system and whether someone might be tampering with it behind the scenes. With so many unanswered questions and tantalizing possibilities, General Hospital continues to captivate its audience with twists and turns at every corner. Whether you're rooting for Jason's exoneration or eagerly awaiting Drew's next move, one thing is certain: this storyline is far from over. Next, we'll dive into a gripping and emotional storyline from General Hospital that centers on Drew Quartermain's dramatic transformation, his strained relationships, and Elizabeth Baldwin's heartfelt attempt to bring him back to his senses. With family dynamics hanging by a thread and children caught in the crossfire, this tale is packed with tension, heartbreak, and hope. Let's explore every detail and layer of this complex narrative. A chess game with children, Drew's troubling decisions. Drew Quartermain's recent actions have left many questioning his motives and emotional stability. His insistence on uprooting Willow Corinthos and her children, Wiley and Amelia, has caused ripples of concern throughout Port Charles. These children are already grappling with the absence of their father, Michael Corinthos, who remains indefinitely hospitalized at a burn center. Willow's desire for sole custody only adds to the growing tension. Elizabeth Baldwin is deeply troubled by Drew's choices, especially as they pertain to Scout Quartermain, his own daughter. Drew seems to have shifted his focus away from Scout entirely, prioritizing Willow and her family instead. This sudden change in loyalty raises questions about Drew's state of mind. Is he truly thinking about what's best for these children, or is he using them as pawns in a larger game? Elizabeth fears that this emotional upheaval could leave lasting scars on all the children involved. Wiley and Amelia are already struggling with their father's absence, and now they're being thrust into an unfamiliar situation with Drew. Meanwhile, Scout is left feeling abandoned by the one person who once meant the world to her. Elizabeth wonders if Drew will ever come to his senses before it's too late. Scout's emotional security at risk. Scout Quartermain has endured more loss than any child should ever have to face. First, she lost her mother, Sam McCall, and now she finds herself separated from her closest companions, her brother Danny Morgan and Rocco Falconeri. These bonds were a source of stability for Scout, but Drew's decisions have shattered that foundation. Elizabeth is acutely aware of how these events could impact Scout's emotional well-being. She worries that the repeated losses will make Scout hesitant to form meaningful connections in the future. Bonding with others requires trust and security, two things that are slipping further out of reach for Scout with each passing day. Adding to the complexity is Drew's apparent belief that Willow can step in as a maternal figure for Scout. While Willow may have good intentions, Elizabeth knows that no one can replace Sam in Scout's heart. The situation is further complicated by the fact that Scout now feels like an afterthought in Drew's life, a painful realization for any child. Elizabeth Baldwin's mission, reaching out to Drew. Elizabeth Baldwin has taken it upon herself to confront Drew about his behavior, not out of anger or frustration, but out of genuine concern for Scout's well-being. She remembers a time when Drew was a loving father figure not just to Scout but also to her own boys. Back then, he was a man of integrity and compassion, a stark contrast to the person he has become since his release from Pentonville prison. Elizabeth hopes that by reminding Drew of who he used to be, she can reignite the love he once had for his daughter. She appeals to his sense of responsibility as a father, urging him to consider how his actions are affecting Scout. But Elizabeth knows this won't be an easy task. Drew has changed so much that he's barely recognizable as the man she once loved, a man she was even engaged to when he was still Jake Doe. A hero turned villain, the fall of Drew Cain. Drew Cain's transformation from hero to anti-hero has been nothing short of shocking. Once admired for his bravery and selflessness, Drew now finds himself estranged from former allies like Curtis Ashford and embroiled in scandal after scandal. His most recent transgression, stealing his nephew's wife, has only added fuel to the fire of public opinion against him. Elizabeth struggles to reconcile this new version of Drew with the man she once knew. She remembers him as someone who put family above all else, a man who would never intentionally hurt those he loved. But now, it seems as though Drew has adopted a more manipulative and self-serving approach to life, one that rivals even the most duplicitous members of the Cassadine family. Scout's bond with her extended family. Despite everything she has been through, Scout remains deeply connected to her extended family, particularly her brother Danny Morgan and Rocco Falconeri. These relationships have provided her with a sense of belonging and comfort during difficult times. However, Drew's decisions threaten to sever these bonds entirely. Elizabeth emphasizes how important these connections are for Scout's emotional growth and stability. She worries that being isolated from Danny and Rocco will leave Scout feeling even more alone in an already tumultuous world. While visits with Wiley and Amelia Corinthos might offer some solace, they cannot replace the unique bond she shares with her brother. The strain between Elizabeth and Drew. Elizabeth's decision to confront Drew is not without its challenges. Their shared history adds an extra layer of complexity to their interactions. Once lovers who were engaged to be married, Elizabeth and Drew now find themselves on opposite sides of an emotional divide. Elizabeth struggles with feelings of disappointment and sadness as she watches Drew drift further away from the values they once shared. She knows that convincing him to change will require patience and understanding, qualities she is willing to extend for Scout's sake. Tracy Quartermain's role in the drama. While much of the blame for Scout's current predicament falls on Drew's shoulders, Tracy Quartermain also plays a significant role in this unfolding drama. Her decision to kick both Drew and Scout out of the Quartermain mansion has only exacerbated an already difficult situation. Elizabeth plans to address this issue separately but remains focused on her immediate goal, helping Drew rediscover his love for his daughter before it's too late. With so much at stake, Elizabeth Baldwin faces an uphill battle as she tries to bring Drew Quartermain back from the brink. Will her efforts be enough to save Scout from further heartbreak? Or has Drew strayed too far from the man he once was? Next, we'll unravel the tangled web of secrets, lies, and emotional confrontations brewing in Port Charles. From Carly Spencer's budding romance with Jack Brennan to the explosive family secrets surrounding Brook Lynn Quartermain and Gio Palmieri, we'll take a deep dive into the drama. Let's explore every twist and turn, adding new layers of intrigue and analysis to these gripping storylines. The Quartermain Falconeri secret, Brook Lynn's search for truth. Brook Lynn Quartermain's journey toward uncovering her son's identity is about to reach a boiling point. For years, she carried the weight of giving up her child as a teenager, believing it was the best decision for his future. What she didn't know was that her mother, Lois Cerullo, orchestrated the adoption in a way that allowed her to keep tabs on Gio Palmieri all along. Now that Gio resides in Port Charles, Lois is doubling down on her efforts to keep the truth hidden. Her motives are a mix of love and control. She wants to protect Brook Lynn from the emotional fallout while maintaining her own grip on the situation. However, Brook Lynn's growing curiosity, fueled by support from Harrison Chase, is pushing her closer to the truth. This week, Brook Lynn might notice something about Gio, a familiar trait or a slip of information that sets off alarm bells. If she connects the dots and realizes Gio is her son, it could lead to an explosive confrontation with Lois. Adding to the tension is Dante Falconeri's potential involvement. As Joe's biological father, he remains completely unaware of his connection to the young man. The fallout from this revelation could fracture not just one but two families. Lois Cerullo, the keeper of secrets. Lois Cerullo has always been a character driven by fierce loyalty and a desire to protect her family at all costs. However, her decision to keep Joe's parentage a secret has placed her in an increasingly precarious position. While she believes she's acting out of love for Brook Lynn and Gio, her actions have created a ticking time bomb that could explode at any moment. Lois has gone to great lengths to maintain this deception, even enlisting old allies to mislead Brook Lynn and steer her away from the truth. But as Brook Lynn inches closer to uncovering Joe's identity, Lois finds herself backed into a corner. Her relationship with Brook Lynn is already strained. If the truth comes out, it could shatter their bond completely. The stakes are high not just for Lois but for everyone involved in this tangled web of lies. Ned Quartermain could turn against Lois for keeping such a monumental secret from him, while Dante may struggle with feelings of betrayal upon learning he has a son he never knew about. Carly Spencer's romantic dilemma. Carly Spencer is at a crossroads in her life as she navigates her evolving relationship with Jack Brennan. After months of flirtation and emotional connection, Carly seems ready to take their romance to the next level. However, their latest date night is interrupted once again, an all too familiar pattern that leaves Carly questioning whether Jack is truly the right man for her. Jack has been patient with Carly, giving her space to heal after years of heartbreak and loneliness. But Carly can't ignore the lingering doubts about his past and his connections to dangerous players like Jen Sidwell and Colette Moreau. These concerns are compounded by Jack's role in sending Carly's daughter off to become a WSB agent, a decision Carly still struggles to forgive. Despite these obstacles, Carly finds herself drawn to Jack's charm and unwavering support. Could he be the fresh start she desperately needs? Or will his secrets ultimately drive them apart? Carly's decision will have far-reaching implications not just for her but for everyone in her orbit. Jen Sidwell, a new threat in Port Charles. Jen Sidwell has quickly established himself as one of Port Charles's most enigmatic and dangerous figures. After purchasing Windmere, the iconic Cassadine estate, Sidwell has raised suspicions about his true motives. Is he connected to the Cassadine family? Or is his interest in Windmere part of a larger scheme? Sidwell's actions have already caused ripples throughout Port Charles. He is suspected of orchestrating the bomb that targeted Sonny Corinthos' penthouse, a blast that left Michael Corinthos severely injured and recovering in Germany. While Sidwell denies involvement, his brazen behavior suggests otherwise. Adding another layer of intrigue is Sidwell's potential collaboration with the WSB. If true, this alliance would give him both protection and power, making him an even greater threat. As Sonny grows more suspicious of Sidwell's intentions, tensions between them are bound to escalate. Drew Cain, a man on the edge. Drew Cain continues his descent into darkness as he becomes entangled in Jen Sidwell's schemes. Once a hero admired for his integrity, Drew now seems willing to do whatever it takes to achieve his goals, even if it means aligning himself with criminals like Sidwell. Drew's latest feud with Curtis Ashford over the Esplanade project highlights just how far he has fallen. Once close friends, Drew and Curtis are now bitter rivals locked in a battle over power and control. Drew's willingness to sabotage Curtis' plans reflects his growing ruthlessness, a stark contrast to the man he used to be. Elizabeth Weber also finds herself drawn into Drew's orbit as she tries to make sense of his behavior. Their shared history adds an emotional layer to their interactions. Elizabeth remembers Drew as a kind and selfless man who put family above all else. Now, she struggles to reconcile that image with the person standing before her. Jason Morgan supports Sasha Corbin. Amid all this chaos, Jason Morgan remains a steady presence for Sasha Corbin as she navigates her own challenges. Sasha has decided to move out of the Quartermaine mansion, a decision driven by Tracy Quartermaine's overbearing nature and Sasha's need for independence. Jason fully supports Sasha's choice, recognizing how important it is for her mental health and well-being. Their bond continues to grow stronger as Jason steps into a protective role, once again a role he has always excelled at. With so many secrets unraveling and relationships tested like never before, General Hospital promises an unforgettable week ahead. Stay tuned as these storylines unfold. You won't want to miss what happens next.